talk a little bit about racism and black people. And sometimes the different ways people handle it and see it and deal with it. You know, I had this conversation last night. So I was going to make a video on it. But I find it seems sometimes, not all, but sometimes there's a sector, black conservative people and liberal black people that see racism in the same way, basically. And they view, for example, like, for me, I don't know, I have a different way of thinking of things. I think it's because people are raised differently and they pick up different things from even the same people, that someone else might pick up something totally different from. But growing up, I never really understood why racism and the expression of racism on a level that doesn't affect anyone, for example, you're talking to someone in real life and so forth, that is being racist to you. I don't get why that's it's such an egregious situation. Like, I was talking to this person about different things because they were talking about like how they thought someone was an angry black woman or something. And I was like, you yourself, have experienced that type of treatment, as a black woman at this job they used to work at. And it totally triggered them. Like, because they were like, no one ever thinks of me that way. I'm like so nice and friendly, and they are nice and friendly. But I always am like, now, so it had to do with you? Or is it that there were just some types of people who were not very accepting and they are entitled to their opinion, But, you weren't accepted by those people, at least in the beginning, and, I feel like often with racism, the problem is the rejection of black people by some white people to me, because I feel like the black people, these type of black people, crave acceptance. So then when just one random white person says something racist to them, they have to internalize it and take it in a poor manner, basically. Either, like I said, in those two situations, there's some people who, like, literally, like, act like they have a whole fit over one person calling them the N-word down the street, victimize themselves, and just basically go in a corner and cry about racism all day, And then there's the other people who are not like that. They're not like saying all white people are racist and all this crazy stuff, They're more like the type that are like, they've dealt with racism and they can't admit that they've dealt with racism. Take other examples, because in that case, I wasn't there. The person I'm talking about, I've literally seen them go into confrontations with white people and get called black and ugly or get called the N-word. I've heard them be called the N-word like several times by white people, you know. And I was like, you know, those are situations where those people were being racist. The person would not be able to admit that, you know, that was a situation of someone being racist to them. And that's what I mean. I almost feel like some people feel such shame in being subjected to somebody saying something racist to them, you know? And it's like, why does it hurt so much, you know? Like, to me, I've experienced racism from white people sometimes. I've experienced it from Hispanic people, Asian people. I've heard really racist things said by black people. I have no shame for whoever has anything negative to say about black people. Because to me, if you think of it, it's like, it's not, there's nothing to have fear of if you have no shame in being black. If you're holding black as if it's a curse or something bad and you're trying to make up for it, that's the only time when racism will hurt. Because you now see your blackness as something that is a handicap or something that puts you down a peg, something that someone can use against you and attack you with. And that is the problem. To me, it's not even the white racist's problem. It's the fact that you can't process your own racial background properly. The white person isn't a black person. So if a white person is racist, one, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're not black. They don't understand what it is to be black. Now people will think that means I'm saying black experience. I'm not talking about the black experience. Everybody experiences life differently. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is they will not know what it's like to have color, you know? So how can they know the value of someone who has color when they aren't of color themselves? You determine your own value. You determine what it's like to be black. You define what it's like to be black. So to me, it's like, why are you concerned? Why are you upset? Why are you in denial? Why are you so hurt by someone being racist? I understand racism can hurt if it means that you can't put food on the table. That is a concern. That's why, to me, I hate racism when it's at the job. Mm-hmm. But if it's just down the street and I'm just walking down the street, I don't care. Excuse me, sorry. I have indigestion. Anyway, I feel like, you know, not being able to face racism is a profound problem, because if you're just basically trying to bet on people looking past your race, which is a good thing, you know, but you're just trying to bet on that, basically. You're just hoping against hope. People don't see your race and that people, you know, judge you by your character. As if your blackness is something that holds you back. To me, it's stronger and better when you just face reality. Because if you can't face reality, that means that there's a weakness there. And, you know, there's a part of you that gets really hurt by those type of behavior. I feel like these two types of people are two people of the same mind, but different outcomes. One, because they both value whiteness. If they didn't value whiteness, it wouldn't scar them so much. If they didn't value whiteness and they valued blackness, people's judgment of them outside of, you know, any opportunity, just regular life stuff, walking down the street or whatever, would not affect them. They would not be hurt by it and claim all white people are racist. They would not be in denial and act like, no, white people are racist. I can't admit to racist events that happened to me. I need to I'm basically in an almost trauma state where like you're blocking situations out of your mind or, trying to forget them because it makes you feel miserable. Sorry about that. Anyway, I think if you can value people's thoughts, those thoughts can't hurt you. Is it? Why do you value those thoughts? You have to think. Why do you think they are so important? Is it because you think that they are right? And in reality, I know the reason and the problem is with people so deeply hurt by situations that have no effect on them is because they agree with those who have racist views. And like I said before, it's not a white person's fault if you think white is right. Do you really want white people to think black is right? Do you want them to actually start trying to look black? I thought that's what a lot of people complain about. So obviously, you want them to at least think white looks right for them, white is right for them. The problem is, you shouldn't be thinking white is right for you. Now, we're all right for ourselves racially, and like, it's nothing wrong for the next person to feel that that's right for them. But your problem is that you should think black is right for you, and because someone doesn't agree with that, it it hurts you because you don't feel black is right for you. So if you don't think black is right for you, they don't think black is right for you, but you happen to be black. That's gonna really sting and hurt. It's a thing that I feel a lot of the time. Black American people, it's a deep wound for them, and it's a thing that, you can't really even talk about because it's so layered and so much pain and problems because some of our people don't have pride in themselves. They aren't comfortable with themselves enough to be okay with the fact that some people don't actually appreciate blackness. But it's not for them to appreciate because they're not even black. And, you know, these are extremes, in my opinion. I've talked to people who refuse to acknowledge racism in their own life experiences, that I've seen experience racism with my own eyes. And I've seen people who want to make everything out of racism, and they want to claim everyone is racist just because they had a couple experiences that really hurt them. Both these people are very hurt people and need to get some therapy and need to get some help. I think after everything Black Americans have gone through, by now, Black Americans should not care when we have equal rights. And, we don't have those issues that we had before. I honestly think, for me personally, as a Black American, I have very tough skin on being Black. And the reason why is because of everything that Black Americans have come through this far, that it's like, now, why would I care what people think of me if I have equal rights and equal quality and value to think and feel the same way if I wanted to? I mean, to me, it's like, I don't understand why these people have to take an inferior view of the situation. I feel like most of the time with these people, they take an inferior view because they innately feel inferior and they're always trying to make up for it. And that's sad. It's very embarrassing that they're Black people that just naturally feel inferior and have different coping mechanisms that don't really help them and are negative for them because of a couple white races. Because at the end of the day, I don't think most white people are racist. It's only a couple here and there, you know? So you got so affected by these couple of white people when we see white people all day, every day, you know? It shows how fragile you are, you know? To me, racism is only a concern when it affects your own life, not random people's opinions. So if someone calls you the N-word down the street, or you have some conflict with someone and they call you the N-word or whatever, it is racism. It is something that you can acknowledge in life that happens without fear, you know? But it's not important to me. People's personal opinions aren't important. They don't do anything for you. They're not paying your bills, they're not your landowner, they're not anyone that has to do with your daily life, and success and opportunity. They aren't those people in those cases. Those are just random people with random opinions. Sometimes even people with those type of opinions are fine. In the sense of like, when interacting with them day to day, they may not even have enough of an issue to like express it on the daily, like at work or something. They might keep that to themselves, and only express that like when they're off of work or whatever. So I don't understand why people have to care and be, so triggered by, you know,